But yeah, I love making films. It's what I do, and I love teaching and I love making films. So I've got the best job ever, I think. I'm Kathy Kasic, and I'm an associate professor here at Sac State. I started filmmaking about 20 years ago. I started in the arts, and halfway through my degree, I had gone on this nice backpacking trip, and I realized that I know very little about the natural world. And so I changed my major. I became a biology major, and I want to go to the rainforest, and I'd like to try to help save the rainforest. And so I traveled down to Costa Rica and to Ecuador and started recording frog calls. These really basic recordings of frogs calling, because they have these big vocal sacs. They go boom. And then I took a camera with me one time. I was also taking photography because I was still trying to keep my artistic side up. We're on planet Earth, we're in a solar system, we're floating through space. And so I like to try to make sure that the films I make always ground us in that reality, that we appreciate somehow the elements of the planet we live on, that we recognize that it's a resource, but it's not necessarily a resource that we should use up, that it's a resource that we can sort of be a part of and give back to and take care of. If we can try to pull together and work with the planet, I think that we'll find ourselves in a better situation. So my work tends to reflect all of that. Yeah, so it was a very wild experience being at the Emmys. It was, they had the red carpet and everything, and I just kind of thought, oh yeah, let's see what happens. I'm not going to be sad if I don't win because it's such a special thing to be here. And as they're announcing everything, I look over at the editor because I just wanted to take it all in. Just as I look at him, they announce The Memory of Darkness, and I thought, oh my God, he looks over at me and we stare at each other for I think at least 2 minutes.
And the Emmy goes to The Memory of Darkness, Light, and Ice.
Accepting the Emmy, director, producer, and cinematographer, Kathy Kasic.
And everything slowed down in that moment, just it's like a car crash. And you usually think of that kind of slow motion as a negative thing, but it was the first time I think that I've really had something happen that was so great that everything just slowed down, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. So, well, I was looking out at the audience and I thought, okay, this is bigger than me. This is a film for the National Science Foundation. This is the film for the scientists, and they're losing their funding for science grants here. And if we want to have a scientifically, technologically advanced society, we need organizations like the National Science Foundation. I actually learned from my students as well, I think that if I were just a filmmaker, I would at some point probably stagnate, and I think that the students keep me thinking in fresh ways of oh yeah, this is the latest thing that's happening, and then that's what I'm here for. One of the reasons why I took the position at Sac State is because I want to raise up the voices of the diversity of people who are here. We had 10 students who worked on this film, and I think 7 were from Sac State. In order to help raise up their voices, I draw on my own experience and my own kind of way of going through this process as a filmmaker. It's a learning curve that it's really hard to replicate in the classroom. So I think these kinds of experiences are really important for students to have. And the more we can do that for them, the more we can provide a bridge between the classroom and the field. Our life is a journey, and every little sort of side channel that you take actually brings you back around to something that helps us to grow and helps the next generation. And it's not really all about what I'm doing or what they're doing, it's about what we're doing.